I'm standing in my bathroom at 5 a.m, staring at myself in the mirror, 53 years old, still in decent shape. I hit the gym 3 times a week, eat reasonably well, take care of myself, but something's changed. Something I never thought would happen to me. It started subtly. A hesitation where there used to be confidence. A moment of doubt that would have been unthinkable 10 years ago. At first, I told myself it was stress. Work's been demanding. Life's been hectic. But deep down, I knew better. I was experiencing what millions of men over 50 face silently. The slow erosion of sexual performance, the creeping realization that your body isn't responding the way it used to. I didn't want to admit it. Not to my wife, not to my doctor, definitely not to my friends. This is the kind of thing men just suffer through quietly, right? You get older, these things happen, you accept it and move on. Except I wasn't ready to accept it. I couldn't. And the thought of my best years being behind me in that department felt like a death sentence to my confidence, to my sense of self. So I started researching. Late nights on my laptop, reading medical journals, watching videos from health experts, digging through forums where other men were describing the exact same experience. That's when I discovered something that changed everything for me. Something so simple, so accessible, that I couldn't believe I'd never heard about it before. Bicarbonate of soda, baking soda, the same stuff that's probably sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now. At first I was skeptical. How could something that costs 99 cents possibly address what the pharmaceutical industry has spent billions trying to solve? But the science behind it made sense. Real, legitimate sense. You see, what happens to men after 50 is actually quite straightforward from a physiological standpoint. Your arteries stiffen, blood flow decreases, your body's natural production of nitric oxide, the molecule responsible for vasodilation, for opening up those blood vessels, starts declining. Without proper blood flow, everything falls apart. It's not weakness, it's not failure, it's biology. The bicarbonate works because it addresses the root cause. When you consume it, it alkalizes your body, counteracting the acidic environment that restricts vascular function. It boosts nitric oxide production, which means your arteries relax, blood flows more freely, and suddenly your body can perform the way it's supposed to. It's elegant. It's simple. It's been hiding in plain sight. I decided to try it. Nothing to lose, right? I started with half a teaspoon of food-grade bicarbonate dissolved in warm water, consumed about 45 minutes before intimate time with my wife. The first night I didn't expect miracles, but within a week I noticed something. A firmness returning, a confidence I'd almost forgotten. By the second week, my wife mentioned it. "You're different," she said, "like yourself again." By week 3 I was convinced. The results were undeniable. But I realized I needed to understand the complete protocol, the right dosage, the timing, the complementary factors that would maximize everything. That's when I put together a comprehensive guide that walks through exactly how to implement this correctly. If you want to discover the precise method that transformed my situation, the step-by-step protocol that works, I'm leaving a complete guide in the first link in the description. That guide contains everything, the exact dosage, the timing, the daily routine that makes this work. Don't skip it. This is the difference between trying something randomly and actually getting results. What I learned through this process is that consistency is everything. You can't take bicarbonate once and expect transformation. This is a protocol you implement daily. The results compound over time. Most men start noticing significant improvements within 2 to 4 weeks of consistent use. Some see changes faster. The key is commitment. But bicarbonate alone isn't the whole story. I discovered that it works exponentially better when combined with other factors. Hydration became crucial. I increased my water intake significantly, which supports vascular function. I added light cardiovascular exercise, nothing extreme, just 20 minutes of walking or cycling most days. This improves circulation naturally. I focused on stress reduction because cortisol, the stress hormone, directly interferes with sexual performance, and I cleaned up my diet, eliminating inflammatory foods that restrict blood vessel function. These elements work together synergistically. The bicarbonate opens the door, but the lifestyle factors keep it open and reinforce the benefits. I started seeing compounding results, not just in performance but in energy levels, confidence, and overall vitality. My wife noticed the difference in everything: my mood, my presence, my engagement in our relationship. The remarkable thing is how many men are struggling with this exact issue, and how few know about this solution. The pharmaceutical industry has no incentive to tell you about bicarbonate. There's no profit in a 99-cent solution, so it remains hidden, and men continue suffering unnecessarily, thinking they're alone in this experience, thinking there's nothing they can do. But there is something you can do right now, today. You don't need prescriptions. You don't need expensive treatments. You don't need to accept decline as inevitable. What you need is the correct protocol, implemented consistently, supported by complementary lifestyle changes. Remember the complete guide with all the instructions, the exact protocol, the daily implementation strategy. It's all in the first link in the description. Access it, study it, follow it precisely. This is how you reclaim what you thought was lost. I'm 53 and I feel more confident in this area than I did at 40. That's not an exaggeration. That's the reality of what happens when you address the actual problem instead of accepting the narrative that decline is normal. If you're experiencing what I experienced, if you're frustrated by the slow erosion of your performance, if you're ready to take action, then this is your moment. Subscribe to this channel, because we're going to continue exploring solutions like this, real science-backed methods that work. We're going to keep uncovering what the mainstream doesn't want you to know. Your best years aren't behind you, they're ahead of you, if you're willing to take the steps to reclaim them. I'll see you in the next video.